Welcome, everyone. I hope you can hear me. There is a storm a brewing where I am, so I had to put on my hotspot to make sure the Wi Fi does not go out, and wanted to make sure everyone can hear me because this is a very timely, very important topic. And I'm just here to share ways that we as a community cannot get got. I really believe that it's equally as important to make sure we follow these tips as it is for us to gather our documents. Gathering our documents will mean nothing if there is nothing available for us to claim after the scammers have scammed, after the fake financial advisors have jacked you, and after the bots have literally taken over your identity. So I wanted to make sure that I do my part into not just sharing, how to stay ready from a gathering documents point of view, but also how to stay ready from a making sure we protect our assets point of view. And so, again, today's topic is the scam alert tips to protect yourself from frauds and scams. And they will be plentiful in the days and years to come for multiple reasons. Number one, the invention and what we're living in now with AI, it makes it that much easier. Number two, the protections that we once had from the government are being loosened and dismantled. And so, again, this is all about us staying safe as we stay ready. I do want to first introduce myself because sometimes I forget to do that. So, welcome if you've been here before, or welcome back. Excuse me, welcome if you haven't been here before, or welcome back if you have. My name is Kim, aka Kim with the Gems. And on this channel, we talk all things related to money, travel, and wellness from a cultural point of view, from a cultural perspective. Why is that important? It's important because we, and when I say we, I mean Black Americans, Black people living in America, are disproportionately affected by a lot of the topics that we're covering. Not to say others aren't, but in so many ways, we get the worst of it. And so I invite you to come be a part of the Gem Nation, become a gemstone. The simplest way to do that is to hit the subscribe button and, join us on this journey. I'm putting it out in the atmosphere. The goal is to grow this community to 50K before the end of this year, because I know how important community is going to be living in the world that we're living in now. And I am committed to doing my due diligence into bringing whatever gems I can to this audience, and having other people join this platform to drop gems as well. And so, again, go ahead to subscribe to the channel as we're on the road to 50K. Also, like this video. You know the drill. It helps the algorithm push this video specifically, and this channel out to more people who are like us, who are like minded. Also, turn on your notification bell. We're on a movement. We are on a movement. You never know when I'm going to go live with some breaking news stories, but turn on the notification bell, and sharing is caring. Go ahead and share this video with someone that it may help. I tell you, it just seems like, there's more news that can make you anxious than there is that can make us joyful. But the good thing is, if you stack the odds in your favor and you prepare yourself, then you lessen the chances of you falling victim to some of these things. And we're going to get into some stats in a minute, because the stats are ridiculous and expected to grow exponentially. So talking about the scammers and the flim flammers, they are everywhere nowadays. Like I said, the data breaches are increasing, the fake financial advisors are increasing. and targeting all of us online. And the scammers are using a whole lot of new technology to not only scam us, but also scam us in mass numbers, like within a minute or so. Like all of your everything that you worked for can be taken away. So we want to make sure that we help our audience understand what's happening. So if I forgive me if I rub my eyes, we're getting paint done, and I'm allergic to paint, so I feel the allergies starting up again. But anyway, we're gonna. I want us to understand not only what's happening, but how it's going to affect us as Black Americans and what we can do to protect ourselves. And more important than ourselves is the ones that are most vulnerable to these scammy, flammies are our elders, right? And our youth. So we're going to get into it. Let me say hi to a few people. I don't know who's in here, but oh, we got some people's in the building. Let me see. Moni number one again, girl. You've been getting that number one spot a lot lately. And I think you started out that way too when I started this in November or December. But welcome. Good to see you. Hey, Miss P. Good to see you. Hey, ABX girl. Welcome back. Hey, Christine, the mod with the wrench. Don't play, don't play. Good evening to you too, hon. Hey, Ebad. You was been watching my old videos and didn't see the notification. Yeah, sometimes people I follow, I don't get their notifications either. It is what it is. But I'm glad you're here and I'm glad you made it. Yes, drop the gems if you're part of the Gem Nation. If you are a gemstone, that just simply means you are a subscriber. There's other ways. Some are more, VIP gemstones, but I'm happy for everyone that has made it into this live. Hey, Siobhan, good to see you. Oh, thank you, Miss P. I'm doing what I was called to do right now, so it's my pleasure. Yes, scammers and flim flammers, child. They are in abundance. Hey, show about nothing. Good to see you. Just a quick story. Another reason why I feel so compelled to have this conversation now is because, listen, unfortunately, I know some scammers and flim flammers, and y'all do too. That's the sad thing. I have been in spaces where I have talked to people about investing who never invested before, never traded before, gave them resources. And within 6 months, they're charging people for the information that I gave them for free. So, and never, again, these are not, y'all know how I do. If y'all are literally going to take real advice from a person who calls themselves an expert in the financial space, I'm gonna need y'all to ask for some receipts. I'm gonna need y'all to find out how long they've been investing because one stupid move or uneducated move, I should say, by someone who is uneducated can put you in a whole heap of trouble, a whole setback. Y'all know I rock with people who've been professionals for over 30 years because you need to understand the ebbs and flows of investing. Investing is a risk. And a lot of us don't have the emotional intelligence because it can be an emotional ride to ride out the highs and the lows. And so please, 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 please do your research and make sure that whoever you're paying and following um, knows what they're talking about. Please. I want to share this right here. And this is another reason. This article, I don't, so this is from, I'm not going to promote the newspaper it's from because that newspaper, which used to be one of the best newspapers out there, but because of its leader falling in line with the administration, I don't promote them anymore. But this was an article, and you can listen if you want to read it, you can, but this is just to support the thesis that things are going to get worse and how bad they are already. Scam losses hit almost 17 billion. The fix is bigger than self-help. Now, I'm going to get into some stats in a second, but I just don't want us to. They're going to come after us. We're easy prey because we don't have certain education, especially when it comes to investing, right? They're gonna target the easy victims first. I always say the path of least resistance is how scammers make out big time. That's how they're able to get away with over $17 billion. Not by the people that's going to ask questions, protect their assets, but by the people who are willing to not ask questions, willing to trust, or don't even know what questions to ask. So I just want to get into some stats really quick. So, well, first let's talk about what Americans have reported, and this was in 2024. So you see what the number is right now. So the number I just quoted of 17 billion was from May of 2025, but at the end of 2024, it was 12.5 billion. Americans reported 12.5 billion in scam losses, and that was up 25% from the prior year of 2023. And we see it has already grown another 20% the first half of this year. So these numbers are staggering, they're scary, but the real scary part is that that's not even the actual number. Because the sad thing is, because a lot of us get embarrassed by what happens, we won't report it. So these numbers that I'm going over right now are the numbers that are reported. But guess what the FTC, the Federal Trade Commission, estimates? They estimate that the total was really over $158 billion. And that's a B, billion. So reported, what was it, 12.5 billion last year? The estimated real number is $158 billion, which equates to over $433 million a day. And that's just through scams and identity theft. And if you break it down, it's like 5.7 billion lost to investment scams. We just talked about that. 2.9 billion lost to imposter scams, 47 billion lost to identity fraud and scam losses. And when you think about the total population, that number is scary. But when you think about our community, Black Americans, we are the ones that are more likely to experience it, but less likely to report it. We are disproportionately affected in this area. And you think about it, you don't have to have a whole lot for these scammers to make up these billions. Because if you take, I always say this, when you need a loan, when you need, let's say you need a big number, let's say you need $5,000 for something. If you don't know somebody who just has $5,000 laying around that's willing to say here, it's better to ask 20 people for $250 than one person for 5,000. And it's the same when it comes to scamming. It's better to just scam a little bit here, a little bit there. If you have 100,000 people that you're getting $1,000 from, that's $1,000,000. What did I say? 100,000 people? Yeah. It's easier to take from the people that don't have awareness, don't have the education, don't have the understanding, and to get them in big numbers. I mean, target them in a mass, but take out, small amounts. So don't think just because you don't have a whole lot that you're, off the hook, because you're not. But the crazy thing is, every expert out there predicts that the financial impact of cyber crime in the US will keep climbing exponentially. And why? Because of AI powered scams, which can do it quick, fast, and in a hurry, social media fraud. Told y'all, be careful about these fake investing gurus. I want to call some of them out so bad. But I do my manifestation and my prayers, and so I'll let higher powers handle that. And also data breaches. data breaches, as you know, listen, I have never gotten so many notifications and emails that you may have been the victim of or something may have happened. It is insanely. Actually, was I online? No, I was in my coaching class yesterday. I'm going to pull out yesterday when I was doing the coaching. I got a alert from one of my banks, and it says, it's just a simple alert. It says TD Bank will never call slash text to request sensitive information, and you can opt out of getting these type of replies. But that's all it said. This was yesterday. Oh no, was I doing a live yesterday? This might have been when I did the live. Yeah, yesterday at 1:13 p.m. So yeah, my banks, I'm gonna go over ways to keep us safe, and then I'll talk about why I get these alerts. So let's just talk about some of the most common scams that are out there that are really hitting us hard. And again, with the focus on paying attention to our seniors, right? And I'll also say I've been a victim. Luckily, it was caught and no money had transferred, but I was a victim. Well, I was a victim a couple times with credit cards, but as far as somebody creating a bank account in my name, that happens as well. So this is common. Put in the comment section if you've ever experienced it. You don't have to give details, but if you did, I would love to know, because this is more common than it helps other people know that they're not alone. And so let's get into it. So some of the most common scams that are out there: imposter scams. So think of like the IRS, the Social Security um, administration, and or like utility companies. These AI bots are so sophisticated that they can mimic real numbers, right? I've had people call my phone looking like it was my brother's number, my aunt's number, and it wasn't. I've also heard of people getting, harassed by these imposter IRS agents that you better send some money now or you'll lose your house or we'll put a lien on this. Please know and understand that the IRS, Social Security, utility companies, well, utility companies may reach out to you, but the government officials will not. So never, ever, ever, if you don't, well, we'll get into some of, I'm getting ahead of myself, y'all. I'm anxious about this. Not anxious, but I'm excited to share this information. So they'll claim that you owe money or there's an emergency, but understand that government agencies will never ever demand money over the telephone. When it comes to investment scams, fake financial advisors promising high returns, and what it could be on anything. It could be in real estate, it could be cryptocurrency, it could be stocks, it could be anything. But whenever somebody promises you high returns, run, 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 run. All the due diligence in the world, the most savvy wealth advisor would never make a promise to you, because that's not how investments work. All investments usually carry some form of risk, but they can stack the odds in your favor and position you for greater success. Um, the ones that I know are using social media or some type of Black Wall Street type of messaging to really play on our emotions. Again, check their credentials. Check their credentials. They need to have receipts. Everybody's going to say they made money in the market, but they will rarely ever tell you that they lost money. One of the reasons why I don't really teach trading is because I know in order for you to make a lot of money when you trade, you have to be willing to lose a lot of money. Now the goal is that you're going to make a lot more than you lose, but you have to be willing to risk. Most people that I know and people in my trading community, one trade is going to cost them thousands of dollars. Now the return on that can be 50% in a short amount of time, but you're also risking that an announcement for a company could come out and that company goes bust, and so there's your money, right? So again, have people produce receipts, and I mean real receipts. Then when it comes to our older population and people who may not have big families, there's something called romance scams, y'all. A lot of time these are nothing but bots and AI too. And how they tug at people's emotion. They tug at people who feel that they have no one, that they're lonely, and they know how to target. They know how to target these people. And then our loved ones end up developing some type of online relationship, thinking at first it's all peaches and cream, and then all here comes the, oh, I'd love to come see you, but my check hasn't cleared. I'm getting this big check from someplace and it hasn't cleared, and they need me to produce a tick. Like there's so many scamalama flim flamma stories out there. But again, this is really one of those that tugs at our most vulnerable, right? And so we need to have those conversations with Nana and them, Auntie and them, Uncle and them, and show them real stats, show them real life stories where the people got skim, scam, flamma, lammed. Listen, they say if you've never met in person, don't send the money. I say even if you met in person, what you need my money for? What you need? There should be no reason. We not married. We haven't been together for years. You should not be asking me for anything. Um, Also, there's tech support scams that happen. So you may get a pop up on your phone or your computer or your iPad, whatever, or phone calls claiming your computer is infected. Now, we've all probably gotten them. And if you're young, if like our childrens may really think that there's some type of issue and keep clicking, and the next thing they done wiped out your account. And so the same with our seniors. Again, if you don't understand technology, if you don't understand um, how to spot these things, just don't ever click on them. If you got to turn off your phone or your device and then turn it back on, take it to wherever, like, I don't know, whatever device you have, there's some type of support that you can call for assistance. But please, that is a simple way to get people to press, because we're so addicted to our devices and nobody wants to be without their device. And so those tech support scams are not only big now, but they're expected to get bigger. There's something else called the social media cash flip. So that's when somebody says, "Oh, send me $100 and you'll get $1,000 back." And this is usually, like I said, on social media. So all of the prevalent social media. And if you are desperate times, right? If you are in a position where you're like, "Oh my gosh, I could really use an extra $900 and this sounds legit," and you'll see other people commenting like, yes, so and such, I got my money within 5 minutes. Please keep it pushing. Anything that's too good and too easy, if it appears that way, it usually is. um, we're going to get into again some ways to protect ourselves. Those are some of the top ways. There are other scams that are out there, and let me see how much time I've been talking. Okay, 25 minutes. Okay, we got time. So yeah, so I do want to talk about why we're targeted, like why depressed and um, communities of color get to be targeted by scammers often. And older communities, right? One, it's the mistrust in institutions. So when it comes to like our banking and if we need loans and stuff like that, some of us feel like, oh, if I go to a regular institution, I'm going to get denied. So we'll try to, you know, go around the block and find the easiest way. And if you see something that says guaranteed, pre-approved, we are suckers at we can be suckers, I should say. And that's how, and they know that. And so they target us. I already talked about it, lack of financial education. Scammers are going to exploit that. Scammers are going to, you know, find, oh, she doesn't even know what this means. I could talk these big words and it's going to make it seem like I'm an expert. They're going to exploit the fact that we don't know what we don't know. And then, like I said, elders and young adults are usually the least protected online and targeted often. And so, again, now that, you know, AI, yesterday in our coaching session, we went over, you know, creating our digital doppelganger, our digital twin. Listen, some of these things look so real. The average person is not going to be able to tell when it's an AI generated voice or photo or video. And I don't know if you ever saw Muskie Dusky he did a talk. This was before um, the election. He did a talk and he shared a video on how scary some of these AI generated videos are. And he used Morgan Freeman as an example and how they were able to take his voice and basically use his voice to seem like he was saying certain things that he really wasn't saying. And so, you know, listen, the fact that we all have access now to some of these platforms like ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, all of those, and so many others, it is going to be even easier for the scammers to come out and take advantage of us. Um, we can get into how to start protecting ourselves, and then I'll see if there's any questions. And well, you know what? Let me see if there's any questions first. The one he investment for beginners video is that one he investment video. Are you saying the investment video that I did? I'm not sure what that means, Eva. Hey, Eva. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Please subscribe and become a gemstone and part of the Gem Nation family. Oh, okay. The 2-hour video for beginning investors is good stuff. Oh, yeah. You're welcome. You're welcome. There's people that charge for that information. Beginning investor basic information. There are people who just started investing charging people for that same information. And anyway, yeah. Yes, do your due diligence. That's right. Absolutely. You have to do your research. Miss P says, I only work with credentialed, exactly, professionals. Too many people are cosplaying as financial advisors. And it's going to get worse. As much as I love teaching investing, because of the emotional, complicated relationship that my community has with money, I don't find joy in it anymore because they we've been damaged. And I will bring people to the community who are licensed, credentialed, as Miss P says, who Miss P is working with one of them to do their job, to make sure the information is out there. But I just know that I'm not here to. I'm not a psychiatrist, right? I'm not a psychologist. I'm not a therapist. I just know that investing has been the way that the wealthy has gotten wealthy and stayed wealthy. It has not been by working a 9 to 5. And so, yeah, but credentialed professionals is the way to go. Yes, serenity prayer. Thank you, thank you, thank you for sharing that again. Because we're going to need to say it more often than not. Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. And I'll get to that a little later. I want to get through. Thank you, Christine. Remind me to get through that a little later. Repost it a little later for me if you can. It has happened to you, Miss P. Yeah, no, it's not a good feeling. It almost happened to you, but you caught it in time. Yeah. Someone tried to purchase an airline ticket from Australia to Vietnam on your card. Yeah, they out here. Hey, LJ, buenos noches. You are still in, and LJ is part of the Gym Nation. You got a scam email posing as one of our in. Let's see what this is. Got a scam email posing as one of our investment apps, asking to update info. Dug deeper, compared prior emails, and the scam was bogus. I know that they out here. Plus, checked inside the app, and no such notification or requirements. Listen, LJ has just dropped some gems on how to protect ourselves. You got to double check, triple check, do all the authentications, and we'll get into that in a second. I'm gonna read Moni's and then get. I'll go to the next one. I mean, then I'll go through how we can stay safe. There was a French woman who was scammed out of 800,000 by scammers who were posing as Brad Pitt. Now, I'm a reserve my comments for that, but Brad Pitt, why you? If anybody sending any money, child, and you're the real Brad Pitt, it wouldn't be me sending money to you. But no, I remember something like that vaguely, vaguely. Oh, hey, T. Gaynor Jennings, welcome, welcome, welcome. So yeah, so let's get into how to protect ourselves, right? And so, I mean, most of us know the basics, right? So you want to have very strong, unique passwords on all of your accounts. But you also, at minimum, need a two-factor authentication on everything. And so what does that mean? That means in addition to putting in your password, whatever you're signing into, they then either have to text you, call you to verify, email you to verify that it is in fact you trying to sign in, because anyone can get your password. Not everyone will have access to your cell phone or to your emails at the same time. And then some people have even like three factors. So, but at minimum, you need two-factor authentication. Excuse me. Also, as LJ just said, whenever you see something, double check it. Never ever click on a link. If it tells you to click on this link, no, 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 you don't. Number one, if it's coming from anything that says Gmail, Yahoo, AOL, any of those email extensions, it's not business. It's not legit business. It may be somebody who's a coach or consultant or something like that. So those people you should have other conversations with. If you need to pay them money, there should be other payment mechanism set up. But if it's a business, a legit business, and it's coming from a Gmail, Yahoo, AOL, whatever, yeah, ignore it. But if it is a link, don't click the link. You can open up another window. And if it looks legit, because there's times that I would get things from Facebook, and I have a business account on Facebook as well, but I wasn't sure if that was really Facebook. So not only would I go onto other platforms to make sure that this was a legit um, email, I would then type in the URL before. Um, I would never click it, but I would type in the URL. They say you could copy and paste it too, but I would usually just type it in. You also need to know that there are certain red flags that your antenna should go up. If they're acting like it's so urgent that you need to do this right now, it's more than likely a scam. If they're asking for any type of payment via Zelle, Cash App, gift cards, cryptocurrency, probably a scam. If the emails or text messages that you receive, child, if they have misspellings, just delete them. There are so many checks and balances with these like major, like if you have a mortgage or you're dealing with the IRS, if it's spelling errors or spelling that looks like behavior is IOUR from another country or something like that, like a French version of behavior, it's a scam. Also, um, when it comes to our elders, even not everyone knows, even if you show them like how to block these spam calls or text messages, when more come, they may not remember, but make sure they know that they're not a burden to you when they call you to ask you questions. Because sometimes our patients may not, especially if we're at work or doing things, be patient, help them out because those are the ones that are going to be targeted the most because they have a lot of assets. They have the most assets at times. They are the ones with the houses. We've heard how people have signed over their mortgage, their the titles to their cars, the deeds to their homes, and there was nothing they could do because they legitimately signed these things over. So let's just be more patient and have more grace and answer questions. Also, when it comes to, the younger generation, our teens, make sure they know that these DMs that they're getting may not all be legit. That cute girl that's popping up saying, hey, big head, may not really be a cute girl saying, hey, big head. It may be a AI bot. It could be a guy. They just don't know. So please make sure um, you have grace with them as well and answer their questions. And also, if we're dealing with seniors, a lot of our seniors prefer to make phone calls. If they need to call, check, and verify, make sure you're there with them. Make sure you're on the other line. Make sure that the person on the other line knows that this person is not doing this by themselves. Make sure it's like, excuse me, this is her son, and I am a police officer, blah, 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 even if you're not. Make sure that they know that this will not be the path of least resistance. This will be the path of resistance. And if it is a scam, they'll keep it going. If it's not, oh, they're going to want their money. So, um, yeah, make sure that you help those who need help. Also, we need to report these scams. We need to do better. Now, I will say it can be a process because I know when they opened up a bank account in my name with no transactions, it was interesting. I think they just did it because they might have been giving out some bonuses for people who opened it. It was probably somebody on the inside of the bank. I don't know. But I had to report it to my local police. I had to report it to the government. There was like 4 or 5 steps of things that I had to do to report it. But there is a website called reportfraud.ftc.gov. So if anybody's in here, you know what? Let me see if I can add that. Hopefully this link will work. But yeah, if you know anybody, if you suspect of anybody, that's where you start the reporting. And if it's like a local thing, your local bank, you do. Well, I know in New York, you have to file a police report, an official police report. And this helps so that if something does happen, it affects your credit and all of that, you can prove that, you know, you took action and it wasn't you. Okay, so let's talk about what the future holds for us or what it possibly can hold for us. Like I said, AI And this automation game will make scams faster and more convincing. The fake videos, fake voice messages, deep fake customer service calls, social engineering attacks targeting families. Oh, we're going to see more and more of that. So even though I don't give investing advice, I'm gonna make this disclaimer. Pay attention to where areas where we're headed to see where we should be invested. If you're into investing for long term for your kids, long term is typically, it used to be 10 years or more. Right now, they're saying long term is 5+ years. Look into cybersecurity companies, look into cybersecurity ETFs, exchange traded funds. If you don't know what that is, I have basics of investing videos, as Ebad said, that tell you all about that. But look into areas that support cybersecurity, because it's going to ramp up. It's one of the fastest growing, in addition to semiconductors and all of that, is going to be one of the fastest growing segments um, in technology. So, um, what was I saying? Yeah, so cybersecurity is going to grow because of these automation and AI. I mean, the speed is going to be, first of all, it's going to be unstoppable, right? But it's also going to be um it's going to be so believable that the average person, I want to try to pull up that video that I was talking about with Morgan Freeman. But let me see if I can find it real quick. Um And if you haven't hit the like button, go ahead, hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed and become part of the Gym Nation, go ahead and do that as well. Was trying to find. There's another website that they also recommend that you, when I say they, um, so I follow a lot of legitimate financial resources, and they recommend that you freeze your credit so no one can open up anything. So with all three bureaus, you should freeze your credit. It's free and it does prevent new accounts from being opened in your name. But please know, if you have any intention on buying anything, you have to unfreeze it. Don't go into a car dealer, don't go into a bank asking for a mortgage and you have your credit reports frozen. So that's another disclaimer that I wanted to use. But the good news, let's just talk about some good news. And that's where I was going with cybersecurity. There are more tools that are available to us. So you can search fraud alert apps, AI powered spam filters. There's also this is something that I personally recommend. If you can scrub your information, especially your personal information, from the Google, the websites, the interwebs, there are resources that you can use to do that. I'm not endorsing one over the other. I don't even remember the one I used. It was a while ago. But if I find it, I will, do a post in the community tab. But yeah, because there's just too much information about you online. There's no reason I should know your address, your birth date, your mother's name, your father's name, your sibling's name, your uncle's name, your aunt's name, other people who may be related to you. There's no reason I should know all that information, nor should you know that about me. So if you get a chance, do some research, see what platforms are the best. Now, most of them you have to pay some type of fee to scrub your information, your personal information, off of the interwebs. Um, and then also know that it's not just local, right? It's not just domestic that we have to worry about. With everything happening globally, and with automation and AI being global, we have to worry about getting hit from, listen, all different angles. And again, we just have to stay ready. That's what it comes down to, because as I stated at the beginning of this live, we already are up over 20% in fraud loss just for the first half. And this was May of 2025. So it wasn't even the first full half. So we're expecting, I'm going to say, at least a 40 plus percent increase in 2025 in losses that are reported. Again, that's just a fraction of the actual losses. And so, yeah, it's going to eventually. I was looking because there was a number that they're expecting it to be in the future, but I can't find it. So, yeah, I can't find it. And also with healthcare, you may get, especially with everything going on with Medicaid and Medicare and stuff like that, there's going to be fraudsters out there making it seem like now you owe them money. And if you don't pay them, they're going to take whatever. Please, please, please let our senior population know. I feel so sorry for the ones that don't have an advocate for them. But if you know someone that falls into that category, please try to act, on their behalf in these areas, or at least educate them. Educate them and tell them to never give their personal information, never agree, never click on links. Like, please, I just implore you, because that's the easiest target. So yeah, I can't really find what is I want to see. Yeah, I can't find the video. I just saw where that man, Morgan Freeman, said he is a huge fan of Elon Musk. Ciao. I'm gonna leave that right there. Yeah, I can't find. There's a video where, if you Google it, maybe it's not on the interwebs anymore, but if I find it, I'll post it. Okay, let's see what y'all are saying. Moni says there's a new scam involving third-party passport companies. These companies are promising to get your pass. Yeah, no, that's not new, child. You're right. And I mentioned that on one of the videos this week. But yeah, do not pay anyone. Now, let me preface this by saying there are official expedite services, so you don't have to go, like, depending on where you live, they can take paperwork here, there, get the, if you need to sign anything, they do all the running around for you. So those are official. But there are scam companies. The same with when you register your business. If you need an EIN, and we talked about this in our latest group, um, if you need an EIN, that's free service. You get that through the IRS, but there are fake companies that look like the IRS, right? But it doesn't have .gov on the end. It may say .com or .co or something like that. You think you're paying the IRS. You're not. You're paying this fugazi company that makes it seem like they're doing work that you can't do online for free. But it's the same with the passport companies. Yeah, so just make sure that you are paying attention. Hey, Dante, good to see you. Yes, listen, please. Listen, I got my own thoughts about that man anyway. So yeah, again, if you aren't liking this channel, if you are not following this channel, if you are not sharing these videos, what are you doing? What are you doing? I would love to put together, and there might be one, there's probably some already. I didn't look for it, but if there's a resource guide for seniors on how to stay safe, and I'm sure there are, but one directly designed image wise, creative wise for us, I would love to see that. So if somebody that's a winner right there, because I know most of my older family members, they're still reading. They're still reading papers, they're still reading books, they're still reading pamphlets, so like hard tangible copies. And so I would love for yeah, I would love to see that. And if someone knows of one, um, put it in the comment section and I'll repost it some way, somehow. Hey, Cheryl PhD, good to see you. But yeah, I really wanted us to talk about how to not get got, how to stay away from the scammers, the fugazi financial advisors, and the bots, how to protect our elders as well as our young ones. I've heard so many horror stories. Heard so many stories of people really, even if they didn't get wiped out, imagine losing $50,000 from your 401k or your retirement account. Like, and nothing you can do about it. So we really need to protect ourselves. I wanted to say that if you okay, I was going to say something, I may not. Well, no, because I'm not doing it. That's why I paused that. I was going to say, if you know of Fugazi people, no, let me just say this. There's this one guy. Now, I don't know how often he posts and if it's pre or post, but there's a guy called JT, the Pocket Watcher, on YouTube. Now, I'm not telling you to follow him, but I will say check out his channel. I'm going to pull up his homepage. I was going to say call the people out, right? But I also know that, I don't want y'all facing defamation lawsuits and all of that other stuff. Okay, so I'm going to share his page, just show you what he covers. So he is a licensed financial advisor, which means he's credentialed. And what I love about him, let's just read. He's a financial advisor and he reacts to he reacts and he also does financial tips and scammer news. He also has a call-in talk show Monday, Wednesdays, and Friday nights at 10 p.m. He's a certified financial planner, professional, and enrolled EA. He earned his bachelor's degree from Missouri Valley College, cum laude, and her certificate in financial planning from Howard University School of Business, School of B. Anyway, HU. So yeah, so again, I just want you to have resources that if you're interested in any type of news. Let's see what his latest topics are. He goes live. So, scamming New Jersey Ponzi scheme, trafficking and bribery. That's coming up on the 18th. Online begging. Millennials got crushed by the economy. Pocket watcher reacts. Bank fraud conspiracy arrests. So yeah, sometimes he is before, like he'll give information before it happens, and then other times he'll react to scammers that have already scammed and are about to go to jail. But you may look at his videos and get some signs of what you need to pay attention to. And because he does have a call-in show, if there's ever time that you need advice, now this is not an endorsement, I've never called into his show, but he's a bison, y'all. So I have a little trust in his competence. But I just like to give resources. So once this video is over, if you have any other questions that may be directly related to you, you have someplace to go. And so, yeah, crypto scams, forex scams, they're gonna be plentiful, y'all. They're gonna be plentiful, and they're gonna come after us the hardest. And so, I really just wanted to come in tonight. We're gonna get out of here before the first hour. Did I say hey, Cheryl? Hey, Cheryl, PhD. I just wanted to really get through this and understand that we can do all our due diligence in getting our documents together, including our financial documents, our bank statements, our deeds, our trust, our titles, all of that. But if you are not protecting those assets, then the paperwork means nothing. If somebody could just come in, swoop, and take that, that hard earned house away from you, then that deed means nothing. So again, we're just here to stack the odds in our favor, stay ready so we don't have to get ready, and be about that action. So I appreciate everyone for tuning in. I appreciate y'all for growing this channel. I forgot how many. I think, we're almost at 14K, on the road to 50K. So if you're not liking, go ahead, hit the, if you're not subscribing, go ahead, hit the subscribe button. We'll be back. I have family in town, so I'll be back Friday. I just don't know when. But there'll be a post that goes up tomorrow. So hopefully, oh yeah, stay tuned for tomorrow's post. I think it'll be a good one. If you missed yesterday's post, that was all about, child, the way my memory. Yesterday's live, I thought, was a good one too. It was all about the employment purge. That was a last minute live that, again, I thought was so necessary because of the state of employment for Black women, and unemployment, I should say. 6% versus the national average of 3%. And it's gonna climb. And so if you haven't caught that video, go ahead. If you missed our interview with the beautiful Sonia Unapologetic, who is now in production of her first feature film, and her story is just so amazing because prior to us meeting in Mexico in 2022, she was at a place where, the energy wasn't there, the creativity wasn't there. She takes a sabbatical, and then voila, the creativity comes back, and she has her first feature film written. Most of the actors are cast and in pre-production, I should say. So we're excited about that. And so, yeah, we'll keep coming back with, the hot topics, the news, the community building, because, these messages that I've been receiving have not steered me wrong yet since November. And the goal is to continue to build community, because we are going to need each other, y'all. We are going to need each other. I may need to, I don't know. I was going to say, I may need to, start planting some greens and some fruits and vegetables so that we can all come live in a compound together. Not all of us, but my flawless people, my flawless gymnasium members. But yeah, we're going to need each other. So go ahead and subscribe to the channel, and I will see everyone live on Friday. I'll post on the community tab and let everyone know. But until then, hey, Sonia, and look who comes in the building. Yes, I don't know if you heard what I said. I couldn't see you. So, yes, Sonia is our resident motivational, live and in person Jewel, and so, or Jim, I should say. So again, we look forward to bringing her back in September on a more regular basis. We're going to talk about creative outlets, starting writing, acting, whatever that is, and I'm just super excited about that. Oh, yes, 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 of course. Thank you, thank you, thank you for, coming through, and, the people want you back, girl. The people are asking for you. So, can't wait till September where we can announce the date. So, exactly. I'm so glad you were able to make it in tonight. You're not late. You're right on time, girl. You're right on time. Thank you so much, Mom. Awesome live. Who are you thanking? I don't have no daughters named Jacqueline. Did your mom recommend you here? I think, I don't know. But anyway, all right, everyone. Y'all have a good night. I will see you on Friday. It will probably be in the afternoon sometime versus late at night. It'd probably be like around noon. So look around then. Oh, okay. I was like, girl, now I know mama's baby, daddy's maybe, but anyway, everyone have a good night. Bye, Moni.